Hi, my name is Heather Eaglen. Welcome to today's video. I'm going to rank all of my favorite fall eyeshadow palette color stories. I have 17 palettes and I've ranked them all from my favorite to my least favorite. If that sounds like fun to you, then let's go ahead and get started. If this is your first time here, do not forget to subscribe and click the little bell for notifications of all my future uploads. And I just want to go ahead and jump into it. So coming in at number 17, and the reason this is number 17 is because I've actually never used it. I've only swatched it. But we have the Hocus Pocus Colourpop palette. It's the Hocus Pocus 2 collection. I mean, you can see why I bought it. It is absolutely beautiful. I haven't used it because I bought this as I was moving into this house. So I was so busy. It took us over a month to move and I never got to use it. And then I just kept getting more palettes and, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind, but I'm really excited to dip into this palette this year. It is beautiful and I really do love the color story. Number 16 is the Sonic Bloom. This is a pretty palette as well. You could use this for spring and summer as well, but if you pick certain areas of the palette, like these darker shades, and stick over here, and even that gold, you could really get a beautiful fall look out of this. This is the good normal Colourpop formula. I really do love their palettes. Their packaging is cute. I love a lot of their collaborations they do, and I truly think you can't go wrong, especially for the price point. Number 15 is the Bronzed Rustic by Juvias Place. I really love this palette. I'm a sucker for orange, and I also love this mustard, like grungy shade. This is a gorgeous palette. That color is beautiful. I've used this many, many times. Okay, coming in at number 14 is the Glamlite Martini palette. I love Glamlite's formula, and these are the second. I bought the whole collection. It's the second thing that I bought from Glamlite, and I loved the hell out of these palettes. They are absolutely beautiful. I'm not big on browns. Like, I don't do a lot of neutrals. I love colorful and bright shades, but I do like neutrals too. And this palette is like a neutral palette, but with a twist. It's got like the more warm toned browns, the more cool tones, and this pop of purple and this purple. Like, it's just a stunning palette. And this white shade, it's like white to gold. It's beautiful. I don't know if you can see, but there's a hell of a dip in there. And this dark brown, I've gotten a lot of use out of this palette, and that's saying a lot as someone who doesn't use neutrals often. At number 13, this is a newer release. This is the Full Fantasy by Lunar Beauty in LAURALEE, Los Angeles. I really love this palette. I have only used it twice, and it's more of a neutral palette, but it's not at the same time. From like half of it, this half is colorful fall all day, and then these are your lighter neutrals over here. But this is like a neutral palette with a pop of color, or it's a neutral palette for a color lover, if you know what I mean. It's got some stunning greens. These purples are really pretty. This is a great black. These two shades are two of my favorite. It's Fairies and Full Fam. I'll show them to you real quick. I don't know if you can see that, but that is beautiful. They are so wet looking. It probably would have ranked higher if I'd used it more, but I haven't used all the shades in it. But what I have used is the normal, like, really good Lunar Beauty and LAURALEE formulas from their brands. Let's show you the swatches too while we're at it. This is number 12. This is the BLENDBUNNY PRIMAL palette. The only reason it's not ranked higher is because it's very new to me. I just got it while it was on like the 40% off sale. This is no longer in stock, or it's not sold anymore. You could probably find it if you bought it on Mercari, but I had to get it before it was gone for good. It was going to be one of those palettes that haunted me forever. I've only used it once, so that's why it's not ranked higher, but I'm excited to keep playing with it. This matte white and this black is awesome, but they're all awesome. Blend Bunny has a wonderful formula. Okay, so this is number 11. This is the Hocus Pocus 1 palette. I bought this during my move too, and I've actually never used this palette. You could see I think I might have used this green in a different look, but yeah, this is going to be coming up in a very upcoming video showing all the palettes in my collection that I've never used. But I'm excited to use this and finally get some use out of it. It's just a really beautiful color story. Okay, and at number 10, we have, who remembers this palette? This is the At Foresight Raw Beauty Christie and Colourpop collab. The packaging on this is so beautiful, the little mushrooms and stuff. This is the only thing I was able to get from the collection, but I'm so happy that I have it, and look at the color story. It's truly a beautiful palette. I don't think this one is in stock anymore either, because this came out, I believe, in 2020. So you would have to buy this on Mercari, but I'm sure there's someone selling it on there somewhere. But this is a great palette, and this is a really good formula. These deep jewel tone shades, down like stunning. Highly recommend. I wish I would have got the eyeliners in this collection. I'm still like mad at myself for not buying those. And number 9, the Dirty Martini Glamlite palette. It came in with the chocolate martini palette that I showed you a second ago, and I love this. I love this so much. This palette made me fall in love with Glamlite. The shimmers in this palette are gorgeous. Look, they look so wet, so pretty. They have a beautiful shine, and their formula has only gotten better since then, and it was great then, but I really have gotten a lot of use out of this palette. You can see like every single shade has a dip in it except for that one, which that one's pretty too. I don't know why I haven't used it, but yes, I highly recommend. And all of these palettes are on sale. They're still for sale, but I also think they're on sale right now too. I highly recommend you check them out. Number 12. This is the Lunar Beauty 12 Days of Lunar palette. This is Lunar Beauty's palette from the last holiday. He released this. It was like a mystery box for Christmas, and I love the out packaging of this so much. Like, blue is my favorite eyeshadow, and if he could have done a multi-chrome like this, that would have been awesome. He didn't want it to be obvious of what the color story was going to be, so that's why he did it that way. But I would love to see him do a palette with this color scheme. It's just absolutely beautiful, and there are a lot of us out there that like blues. But I will still say this palette is wonderful. I've used it a bunch of times. I got it last year, and it's funny how I found time to use this one, but I didn't the other ones. But the shades in these are very beautiful, and the mattes are rich as well. I really love the color scheme of this. This is fall, like all day fall. Beautiful. Everyone knows that Angelica NYQVIST is my absolute favorite YouTuber. She's the reason I'm doing this, the reason I love makeup. This is my HELA palette, and as you can tell, I have used the hell out of this palette. That shade's panned, that shade's panned, that shade's almost panned, and every single one of them have like a significant dip in them. You also can't get your hands on this anymore, so you would have to try to find it on Mercari, and it is on there, because I'm also considering buying it because this pastel yellow is the best yellow in my whole collection. I can't even tell you how many times I dip in this palette for that yellow. I mean, you can obviously tell, but I just love this palette so much. And if you ever come across it online and you have the opportunity to buy it, I couldn't recommend it more. Look at the packaging. So beautiful. She really killed it with this color story. Okay, this is the last one before we get to my top 5. This one I didn't get a lot of use out of either, but I did use it several times, and this is the Ace Beaute Ambiance. Ambience. Either ambience or ambience. It depends on what part of the country you're from, of how you're going to say it. But this is the most perfect fall color story. There's a few shades in here I haven't had the opportunity to use yet. But like I said with the other ones, I really am excited to pull this one out. Probably soon, actually, because I celebrate fall all year long. I don't care. But this is a gorgeous, stunning palette and just one of my favorite palettes they've came out with. And this is their newer formula, and I really do love it. So I highly recommend, and I'm pretty sure this one's still available. This is another palette. This is number 5 that I haven't had that long, maybe about 6 months. This is the Cosmic Brushes Muse palette. This lady is doing something over there at Cosmic Brushes because these palettes range from like $25 to $30, but her formula is absolutely spectacular. And the shimmer shades, I can't even, hold on, I'll swatch a few of them for you. And y'all know, I know everybody wants to see that one. I don't know if you can get the shifts, but they are incredible. This is one of my favorite brands and definitely in my top 3 for sure. But I just couldn't recommend this more. I would recommend you check this brand out because you're not going to get anything like this for this price point. I would pay $60 for this palette, seriously. So I really recommend. Okay, number 4. This palette was my number 1 until I realized that I completely forgot my Unearthly palettes, which should be a crime, but it got knocked down to number 4 from the number 1 place. This is the Heather Austin Adept Cosmetics collab, and I mean, there's a reason that I wanted this to be number 1 at first. This is a perfect fall color story. Look at that. No, you could see those shifts. I really hope so. Okay, I wanted to swatch all of these for you because these shades are orgasmic. These are freaking gorgeous. Like, she did a spectacular job. I love the mattes too. There's 4 mattes in this palette, but I really need to reach for this more because this color story is insane. And it makes me want to buy every Adept shadow on the Adept website. Number 3, this is Unearthly Cosmetics Fairy Frolic. This is like the perfect color story. Unearthly has the greatest, unexpected, grungy color stories, the best formula, the best shimmers, the best mattes. It is my favorite brand. And I will also tell you that I checked my email one day and I hadn't noticed, but I became like a member, which is free. It's kind of like being a member for Ulta or Sephora. You know how you collect points? Well, apparently you can do the same thing at Unearthly because I had $25 saved up from purchases I've made from that brand. And I got to make me a little haul and didn't pay a cent for it. So, like, that's freaking awesome. But I didn't find them until last year, and it's with the next palette I'll show you. But ever since, I've been buying everything off that site a little bit at a time. The owner, Amanda, is very sweet, and I just really love her vibe. I love her color stories. These are beautiful. She just has the best. Number 2 is the Weirdos palette. This is the palette I was just talking about. This was like a 4 palette collection. I got the 3 smaller ones and I got it in October and I have used the hell out of these palettes. Look at this. You could see the big dip in this palette. You could still get this. It goes in and out of stock on her site. You see that? Oh, I need to touch that. I'm going to show you my favorite shimmers in this, my 3 faves, because I'm a glittery mess. Hold up. Look. Oh, those are freaking gorgeous. As much as I love the Adept shimmers, Unearthly has my favorite shimmer formula. I just love them. My favorite brand, hands down. And this is a really great color story. And I love the color. It reminds me of that movie. I can't remember the name of it, but I know you guys know what I'm talking about. What is it called? Oh my God, it's going to drive me crazy. The Craft. Yes, The Craft. And I love it. And the names, I Bind You, Snakes, Feather, Blessed Be. It's like the inspiration of that movie, and it's beautiful. And this is number one. This is the Lore palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. The cover is beautiful, but look at the color story. I've only had this one a few months. This is an older palette though. They came out with this when they were still Alien Cosmetics. Let me make it a better swatch. If you can even tell what these are, because I'm covered in freaking glitter. And they're not. This one with glitter glue is gorgeous on the eyes. Let me show you on my finger. I'll re-swatch them all on my hand. See, it's like a green to gold to pink, and this one is like a pink to gold. It looks like there's little green reflex in it, but I could be off because I've swatched the hell out of everything. But yes, it's just favorite. If you haven't checked out Unearthly Cosmetics, please do. There's all kinds of codes online where you could save. I do have more like fall leaning palettes. My goal was to have 15, but then I found the Unearthly ones and I wasn't about to cut those out. So I went with it. Anyways, if this is your first time here, like I said, my name is Heather Eaglen, and don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell for notification of all my future uploads. I appreciate you and thank you for watching. Bye. Anyways, the dogs were barking and I had to mute the video for a second.
Hi there. Is this the final straw? Do you want to move so far away that you can brag about it? Would you rather tear out your brainstem, walk out into the middle of the nearest 3-4-way intersection and skip rope with it, than continue living where you do now? Then move to...
I hate this channel.
No! No! Tentacle Acres, where happiness is just a suction cup away.